Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Podcast Named Deferred. I'm your host, Seven. I've got the crew backstage with me. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're going to dive into what happened with the World Baseball Classic, break all of that down, and if we get some time, we'll start talking about the rest of spring training and what that could hold for our respective teams. First, let me bring everybody in as we get started today. First, he is the sexiest man in Santa Clarita. He's written books on how to bet women. His name is Craig. What's up?
Good evening.
Next, you've got a guy that needs to read those books on how to bet women, but we stick him anyway.
No, I know you're not introducing me like that. Start over. Let's rewind this, right? This promo is not going to start off like that, sir. Man. Just like my baseball game. Just like my baseball game, I ground out at first.
And finally, a man who's not allowed too close to women. It's Dan.
1979, San Francisco's most eligible bachelor, Craig Newton.
Just 1979. I figured he would have been like the poster boy for 79, 80, and 82.
It's kind of
like was that off year, so
he was in the running. Well, Fabio lived in the San Francisco area at that time, so it was.
Yeah, can't beat Fabio at everything, man. Can't beat Fabio at everything.
He's like moving on.
Moving on. Man, we had an event-filled World Baseball Classic. We look at the semifinals. We saw the USA beat the Dominican Republic in a heavily disputed ending. And then we see the Venezuela beat Italy to go into the finals, which was last night. Venezuela beats Team USA 3-2. I was looking around Twitter last night just to kind of see what the general consensus was, because I had my feelings and I wanted to see what everybody else was saying. And I'm going to give you guys a chance to sound off as well. And somebody was criticizing Mark DeRosa and the manager of Team USA, which we're gonna spend some time breaking that down as a whole. I know we talked about it last week, but I think it bears another conversation. And this is where we're gonna kind of start off here. Is Lou Merlone? He's an announcer for the Boston Red Sox. He's a great guy, knows the game, played the game, and he said it's hard to blame Mark DeRosa when you have an all-star lineup that doesn't hit. And it's not hard to look at what happened last night with Team USA and see that pitching did its job. Keeping a vaunted lineup like that to only scoring 3 runs, despite how many players they had on base, I think is pretty spectacular, in my opinion, how they did defensively. But obviously the offensive side is where we saw a lot of weak contact and a lack of results. Not necessarily faulty base running, but just a lack of production on the offensive side. And he said that wasn't Mark DeRosa's fault. So we'll start with this. Craig, I'll let you take this first. We look at the loss of Team USA last night in the finals of the World Baseball Classic. Is this on Mark DeRosa or was this on the players?
On the players. 100%. 100%.
Ando, what do you think?
I'm in agreement, man. I think the box score speaks a lot, right? They had no errors given up and they only gave up 6 hits. Yeah, I think it was execution on the offensive side of things. I think in any normal game, to give up 3 runs and still be in it in the bottom of the 8th, bottom of the 9th, I think speaks a lot volume defensively for how your team is playing. Yeah, I think this is wholeheartedly on the players.
Dan, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, for sure. We're all in agreement here. I thought it was weird that DeRosa didn't start Cal Raleigh, but I don't know if that's because Raleigh's on some kind of playing restriction or something like that. But I thought that was kind of weird. That would be the only thing I would have changed in the lineup. But I mean, other than that, it's on Aaron Judge and Kyle Schwarber. 0 for 7 combined. What, 6 strikeouts? I think something like that. The middle of the lineup. I mean, yeah, they weren't putting anybody on, but Harper hits that clutch home run. Yeah, no, it's on the offense for sure. And give credit to Venezuela's pitching, obviously. But man, they're not that good. They're really not. I mean, that's they should be able to hit. This lineup should be able to hit those pitchers. It's not. They weren't anything crazy. So it's a bad time to have a down stretch for sure.
Absolutely.
I've watched a lot of Eduardo Rodriguez, obviously because he was in Boston, so I'm very familiar. And he's had flashes where he's an elite pitcher, but what the production that we got out of, just if we look at the starter for Venezuela, Eduardo Rodriguez. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying Lopez. Eduardo Rodriguez, the starter last night for Venezuela.
Eduardo Lopez sounds so southern and seductive.
It's a suave type of name.
Well, it's
he makes you feel dangerous yet safe.
Pablo Lopez, the coach. I get the names combined. No, that's where it throws me off. But
Pablo,
we have elite pitching, elite looking pitching out of Eduardo Rodriguez. He's located really well, and these guys are chasing at pitches they normally wouldn't. And it becomes a downhill, it becomes an uphill battle very quickly, because on the flip side, Venezuela was doing enough to get base runners on and put enough pressure on Team USA where they were able to get just enough done. And, when we look at the production out of Venezuela, Eugenio Suarez and his luscious locks of hair that I think could be in a Venezuelan Herbal Essences commercial.
Yeah.
It's Eugenio.
Eugenio
hit it right.
Yeah.
Suarez.
Played for the Mariners last year.
That is he makes you feel dangerous yet safe name.
Yeah. Spent some time with the Arizona Diamondbacks. So because of the fact that the wife is a D-backs fan, I watched him quite a bit. And he's not bad. I was vehemently against him coming, the prospect of him coming to the Red Sox, which I know is looked at and rumored to be a possibility at some point this offseason. Because he does. He strikes out a lot. He's not a horrible third baseman, but he's certainly not what I would consider elite. He's in the Hall of Very Good. And this is who you're getting beat by. You're getting beat by, for the most part, a bunch of the players that contributed last night for Venezuela were guys that are in the Hall of Very Good. Acuna was a non-factor last night.
I was going to say, I guess he didn't score.
He might have gotten on base once.
He singled lead off the game.
That's right. Yeah, he did. That was really his only contribution, was he singled to lead off the game. And that they got beat by guys that you wouldn't normally expect to get beat by. And one of the questions, something that was brought up this morning, I did Coffee and Sports for Wire to Wire. And one of the things that was brought up was Bryce Harper's lack of production throughout the Classic. Last night, he did deliver that shot in the 8th inning. That home run was standing. Outside of that, Bryce Harper was not great. And it's not like we're not going to pivot to Paul Goldschmidt, who is kind of just there as a courtesy invite. And why wasn't Nick Kurtz? Were they just not trusting the announcers to say the name correctly? Like, why wasn't Nick Kurtz? Nick Kurtz should have been the first baseman. He would have hit more consistently, and he would have played the position well. It's not to say that Bryce Harper doesn't know how to play first, but Bryce Harper's bat is very, very streaky. And so part of me wonders how much of this was certain things like that. Would switching out a piece at a position, we'll say like Nick Kurtz at first or something else, is there some other type of switch, or like you said, Cal Raleigh starting last night? Is there some other type of switch that could have been made that might have made a difference, not just last night, but for Team USA throughout the Classic? Dan, what do you think?
I think at some point you have to at least try to mix the lineup up. He didn't change anything. He kept Harper in the 2 slot the whole time. Judge in the 3. I mean, that did the top of the lineup change at all? The first 4 didn't change at all. I don't think.
I don't
the whole
think
time.
So.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it changed to 5. I think that at some point you have to mix it up a little bit. I would have liked to see Judge 2. I understand that you have to alternate left and right usually. But I would have liked to see a little mix up just because that offense was stagnant the whole time. I mean, what else are you gonna like you said, Nick Kurtz. I mean, I don't know about Nick Kurtz because Harper's in the 2 spot, right? So I don't know about Nick Kurtz, but like, yeah, just do something else. Cal Raleigh in the 2nd spot would have been awesome. You know what I'm saying? He's a switch hitter. Like anything to mix it up a little bit because they were obviously stagnant on offense. So that's what I would have done for sure. But like
Raleigh didn't even play in the game against Dominican Republic on Sunday, so he was absolutely fresh and ready to go.
And he was in the dugout. It's not like Seattle had said, okay, you can't use him anymore. I brought him home. I saw in shots where they went through the dugout, he was there.
Yeah.
Craig,
your first 5 didn't change in the last 3 games. It was Witt, Harper, Judge at 3, Schwarber at 4, and Bregman at 5. So you saw changes between 5, 6, and 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I think in the first or second rotation of the lineup, if you didn't see those hits, especially in a game like that, it's the championship game. What's the worst that happens? You lose. You lost anyway. I think they should have. What's the word I'm looking? Optimistically made changes in the lineup. I like the move that Henderson made when they brought Henderson in instead of Bregman. I think more changes like that would have benefited USA.
Greg, what do you think, man?
Did anybody talk to Raleigh after to find out why he wasn't playing? I haven't heard anything.
No, I have not either.
That's the first question I would have been asking the clubhouse in the locker room was, hey, why weren't you playing? So
it's a relevant question. It's
Will
and for me it's Will Smith hit 231 throughout the Classic, and I will say that I'm a big Cal Raleigh fan. People will also call me a Dodger hater, so you can take this for what it's worth. I like Cal Raleigh better behind the plate and at the plate more than I like Will Smith. I'm not saying Will Smith is a bad catcher.
No.
I think he's done great for what the Dodgers have built there. I think he's definitely more of a defensive catcher than an offensive catcher, but he can still get back to ball sometimes. So he's a perfect person to have as a catcher that can hit in that 8 or 9 slot. That's not going to feel bad about it because he knows since he's got that vaunted lineup hitting ahead of him, that's his place.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's shaking it up like that, having Cal Raleigh again, having him hit at a higher spot in the lineup, maybe drop, move, have Cal Raleigh hit 3rd, have Judge hit 2nd, move Bryce
Harper down to 4.
Yeah, like you could have shuffled stuff around a bit for the lineup in that last game, and I think that may have gotten some better results because there was. The other thing for me is there was no energy in that dugout.
Nope.
Absolutely no energy. Like Venezuela was having a good time. The DR was having a good time. Canada was having a good time. Italy was having a good time. Puerto Rico was having like everybody else. Those guys looked those guys look like they didn't really want to be there.
Yeah.
And I understand it can be a little daunting to be in a, in what would be considered for the purpose meaningful baseball when you're only in March and you're really just starting you're just starting your ramp up. But for me, it felt like some of those guys really were just there because of their tenure more than what they could actually contribute, like Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
And there were better choices. Like Gunnar Henderson was brought in to sit there and learn. Like that was his primary thing. And he ended up making a splash in the Classic. But just like when Bobby Witt was brought in for the last one, he knew going in he probably wasn't going to see a lot of playing time, and he didn't. But he was there to learn from the guys like Judge and all of those others that were there, that were there to start, be an everyday starter during the tournament. And but if you bring in a young guy, we'll say Nick Kurtz at first, or some other position where you're not just sitting on experience for some of these spots, then maybe you get a different result. I think Gunnar Henderson should have probably come in for Bregman more than he did.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this because I'm mad at Bregman for leaving for the Cubs, because he got a stupid good money. Like I respect that. Get your paper, bro. I'm saying this because Gunnar Henderson hit 400 during the Classic. Having that consistently would have been huge. Now, does he hit 400? Probably not. Maybe it's like 280. But Bregman hit 230.
Yep.
231. So there are some definite question marks. But now let's pivot to
Bregman hit 143.
Oh, I'm sorry, 143. Excuse me. I was giving him too much credit. It was Will Smith that hit 231. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Bryce Harper hit 214.
Judge hit 222.
222.
Yep. Terang was the best hitter. I mean, take away Henderson and his 400. Terang was the best batter that actually played in the Team USA game against Venezuela at 364.
And he was Bryce Terang was consistent, and he didn't get to start last night. Buxton did.
Byron Buxton got owned.
Yeah.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
No, because it shows Terang played second base and Buxton was at center field.
You're right.
Because Buxton got replaced for Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, that's
PCA
a good start.
should have started last night too.
Yeah.
PCA is one of the best hitting outfielders in baseball right now.
I know we said that this was on the players, but as much as we're talking about the rotation and how the rotation should have changed, I can see why people are saying that DeRosa should have been to blame. DeRosa's not completely not to blame.
But yeah,
at the same time, if you're told you need to play, like Will Smith, Buxton, Bregman, show up and play. Like,
yeah, for sure.
You're there. Do your job.
Let's not act like this roster is not good enough to win the World Baseball Classic, because it was.
It should have.
And they could have, like, down 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th before Harper hit that home run. I mean, I think everybody agrees that there was no life on that USA. There was no life in that USA dugout. Even after they hit that home run, it was still kind of like a.
Also, if this is like 1973 World Baseball Classic, if there was one, we're throwing Nolan Ryan all 3 starts. Okay, he's going the distance all 3 games, and we win the World Baseball Classic. So let's not act like on the other side of this. Why are we starting? I understand that. What's his name? He's the dude who started last night, McLean. He's Athletic. What was it? I don't even know what team.
I think he's in Oakland A.
But
I think you're right.
Yeah, but like, dude's got good stuff. I get it, but like, is that comparable to Tarek Skubal coming back out after? You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand.
He was only. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I understand the Tigers are like, there's team restrictions to this whole thing. Like DeRosa didn't have an easy job. Let's just say that. Like DeRosa's job was not easy by any stretch of the imagination because of all these different things pulling at, teams pulling at him to tell him to sit these guys and all that stuff. Like DeRosa's job was hard, but like ultimately you just got to hit the fucking ball. I mean,
But
honestly,
that's the problem, I think, with the World Baseball Classic is you have to play it at the beginning of the season because, I mean, you're not going to play it October, November, December because that's when you got the World Series. So really the only timeline that you got to put it in is at the beginning of the season. But who is going to keep their body physically in shape for the whole season? You want to have that time to calm down. So
they're all fucking professionals, so they should be keeping their bodies physically and
fair.
you know what I'm saying, like all year round.
It's a longer question of, gee, do I get into shape, 4 months into for spring training? No, they're in shape year round. Otherwise, they lose their job.
Yeah,
everybody's in shape year round.
Unless you're crazy talented, like CC Sabathia, or if you're like Vlad Guerrero Jr., you can just be kind of fat and like you can get by with talent. But like that's very, very rare. Like that's not a thing that like.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not pretend that it wouldn't be a bad thing if the season took a break for 3 or 4 weeks during the middle of the season, and let's say July, and we did the World Baseball Classic then. We don't need 162 games in Major League Baseball in the season. If we had a season where it was 140, the world would be fine.
I would agree with that.
And just like they're going to have to do it for the Olympics in a few years, in 2028, that's going to happen during the season. So they're not going to have a choice. So for me, it's like there's no reason we can't take that break. But I want to talk about this next. So now that we look at the way things happen with the Classic, the final, the series as a whole, and we talk about Mark DeRosa specifically. Last week we talked about, there was a lot of criticism, and rightfully so, on how DeRosa was handling the lineup and the game-to-game operations, how he was handling the media and stuff like that, which that surprised me because he's also a part of the media. Like he does stuff for MLB Network all the time.
Yep.
And so my question is the criticism of DeRosa throughout the entire tournament. And I'll actually let you have this one first, Ando. Is the criticism of Mark DeRosa throughout the entire tournament warranted now that we've seen how things played out?
Is this his first World Baseball Classic he managed?
Yes.
And he's not like an all-time coach because he's in the broadcast booth, right? Calling games and whatnot.
No, he's not. He's an analyst for MLB Network.
Yeah, then I'm not
play, but he's not. Yeah, he's not.
But playing and coaching are two different things. I mean, obviously, that old time saying is those who can't do teach. He did it, so I don't know if him coaching was the best idea. But that being said, for this being his first baseball classic that he managed, and you only lose by 1 run in the World Baseball Classic Championship, you could have gone out in worse ways. I don't know if he warrants all the hate. I mean, there's some that definitely goes his way, but for a guy who never coached baseball, going up against so-called best in the world, if there's some hate thrown my way, so be it. So.
DeRosa does manage though.
Does he?
Doesn't he?
I thought he was an analyst.
No, he's just an analyst.
Mark DeRosa doesn't manage. Okay, that's weird as fuck.
Yeah.
So Dan, what do you think, man?
Yeah. I mean, this is the Mark DeRosa question, correct?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. No, I think it's weird that I thought he was a manager at some point already, but that's kind of weird. Do you know who really would have helped with Byron Buxton in center to replace him? Would have been the giant Jew Harrison Bader, who would have been.
He played for Israel.
Israel, yeah, the giant Jew. Yes. Yeah, no, that would help out. No, yeah, DeRosa's a weird decision. I mean, it had to have something to do with him being able to be like he could talk to like all the managers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's like if you would have had a guy who managed an actual team, he's not going to be talking to these managers and stuff about like inside stuff, like, oh, how much we like to sit Scooble and all this stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so it probably had something to do with him being an analyst. Am I wrong on that? Like, that would be because then he would be able to go between the teams and like, because they had the franchises actually had to be contacting him the whole time too about like who's playing, like who they want to play. Like if they don't want Scuba to pitch that many innings or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
was
Like
probably
there was
part of the reason.
restrictions for especially the pitchers. He had restrictions from those teams on what the pitchers could do.
Right. And think about like if DeRosa's a manager at any point, like if he's going to be a manager in the future, if he's already had done it, then that kind of is like a conflict of interest type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like just because they would have to let some of their strategy in, and those guys in the, those guys in the front offices are weird about that kind of shit. So like they probably wouldn't have wanted to communicate with him if he's a manager in Major League Baseball, correct?
And that's fair. And like one of the things that was like, if they were to have done like a retired manager, like let's say Joe Torre, as an example, do you think that you're going to have Alex Cora talking with Joe Torre about how often Roman Anthony can get used, and Joe Torre is going to have any kind of semblance of, giving a single flying fuck what Alex Cora has to say, because he's Joe fucking Torre. He's going to do what he wants with the players he's got. And I think that I think there's some truth in that. I could see that. Craig, what do you think, man?
Hold on, Craig. Before you start, I did do a little digging. This is actually Mark DeRosa's second World Baseball Classic. They did announce in January of 2023 that DeRosa was going to be the manager of the 2023 World Baseball Classic team. And that was the team that lost to Japan. What was it? 7-2?
No, 3-2.
3-2. So yeah, so this is his second appearance. So knowing that, yeah, I'm going to say he deserves a little bit more of the blame since he's been there before. So anyway, Craig, what were you going to say?
The players bear the responsibility. DeRosa only puts the lineup out there. I want to know why Kyle Raleigh wasn't playing. That's responsibility of DeRosa to answer for that one. Why he hasn't answered for that? Why Kyle Raleigh hasn't said anything? I'm really surprised, because that was a glaring omission in last night's lineup. I mean, just I don't know. I mean, but no, I don't blame DeRosa for the loss. It's the players. I don't care if it's his first or his 13th. I mean, when La Russa loses the World Series, when Joe Torre lost World Series, I mean, was it his fault or was it the players' fault?
So, according to Google, Cal Raleigh did not play for Team USA in their recent World Baseball Classic matchup. Sorry, because of his poor offensive performance. It says DeRosa replaced him with Dodgers catcher Will Smith to utilize a quote hotter bat for a must-win game. So that was a
Okay.
Manager's decision DMP.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, then doesn't that kind of put it on DeRosa a little bit more? How Raleigh was over
does put it on DeRosa, because and especially last night, like you get through 2 at bats with Will Smith. Like let's say he has Will Smith start for that reason. Okay, I'll entertain that. The manager can make that call. That's their job. But after the second at bat where Will Smith just didn't do anything, and he did not look good at the plate last night. He did not look comfortable the entire time. I at that point, you lose nothing by switching him and Will Smith out.
Agree. Yeah.
That should have been made there for sure.
Yep.
I think that's like to me, that's the reasonable spot in the championship situation. It's not like you're playing a 7-game series where you have a little bit more wiggle room to kind of feel things out and see what you can do. This is
you're not playing to protect a guy's contract either. I mean, you're not trying to protect Will Smith's contract or his numbers or whatever. So yeah, that's excellent point. Yeah, Raleigh should have gone in.
If not to start at some point.
The only moves that DeRosa made were first he pinch hit PCA for Byron Buxton. Yep. Good decision, probably. And then he went Gunnar Henderson for Bregman there against the righty. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the only 2 moves he makes the whole time. When it's clearly stagnant, right? Like in there, you know what I'm saying? Clearly stagnant, nobody's hitting. Like you got to make some kind of change.
The starting Gunnar Henderson in the Dominican Republic game that made sense because Gunnar Henderson had a lot of experience against Severino and ate him up. Like before going into that game, he was 7 for 9 versus Luis Severino. I'm going to start that kid too in that scenario. So
Yeah.
like, and there was actually like when you look at the DR lineup, like there was a couple of sound decisions that were made. And so like for me, my question is what, why didn't that deep of thought stay throughout the entire championship game? Because there could have been adjustments. There could have been, different things done, whether it was you have Harper DH and somebody playing first, you put Henderson on first and Bregman at third, or, whatever you end up doing. I think that there should have been more adjustment to the lineup and what was the on-field product, because it left a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
And Judge hitting 222, I get that it's the spring and he hasn't ramped up yet, but there's no reason for that. I'm sorry.
He's usually ready to go pretty much from the start.
Exactly. And this isn't a Red Sox fan throwing, hey, this is Aaron Judge has set a standard for us as far as what he's going to perform at. You can expect that Aaron Judge is going to be a north of 280 hitter that is going to do a lot of striking out, but he's also going to do a lot of hitting gap to gap and hitting the long ball. You're going to get a lot of that from Aaron Judge. And that's probably the nicest thing I'll ever say about that tall fucker.
Tall redwood.
But man, he really fell apart, especially in the last couple of games of the Classic.
Yeah, there's that meme that's like Aaron Judge is simultaneously the best right-handed hitter in the world and the guy I least want up at the plate in the big moment. So here's the thing. I still feel like that. I'm a New York Yankees fan, and I still feel like that. And only over the last couple of years has Aaron Judge proved to me time and time again, when I do have that feeling, that I'm wrong. He really does. He's clutch as fuck, dude. And like the thing is, like, obviously it's baseball. So like 1 out of 3 times, or like 2 out of 3 times, this motherfucker's failing. Like there's no, you know what I'm saying? Like there's, like he's gonna strike out like 2 out of 3 times. He's gonna fail. So like that's probably why that feeling comes up. It's like, oh, he's not clutch. It's like, yeah, he goes a whole game and strikes out 3 times, goes 0 for 4. That's not clutch at all. Like obviously during one of those hits, one of those at bats, you probably need to get a hit, and like a home run would be nice. But like, but he has proven to me time and time again that he is clutch, and like he does. It seems like he falls apart sometimes though. Because I think it's a lot about that bias. They're like 2 out of 3 times he's gonna fail. So like there's
right.
But he does deliver time and time again. He's clutch. He wins games. He won a lot of games. You can look at the go ahead home runs and RBIs numbers for the last like three seasons. Aaron Judge is at the top of the list, and hitting with runners in scoring position. He's always over 400 and shit. Like the guy's a beast in the clutch, but like it just seems like he's not there a lot. The last couple of games, yeah, he clearly was not there. I mean, that's
The issue that I would have with that, though, is judging by the roster that the U.S. went into it, they only had 4 outfielders, and they technically used the 4th one when they brought in PCA. So there was no depth in the outfield. Like, who do you replace Judge with? You're not going to put Brad.
You don't replace Judge. That's the thing. You don't replace Judge. Like you don't.
No, you don't replace Judge.
You sit him right in the 3 spot because he is the best right-handed hitter in the world right now. That's not even. I don't think that's even arguable at this point. But like, so he's the best, one of the best right-handed hitters in the history of Major League Baseball at this point. But like, but yeah, you have to sit him right there. And if he fails, he fails. And that's probably why, like, Ando, thank you for bringing that up, because like that's probably another reason why we do think Aaron Judge a lot, is because you can't not, like, you're not pinch hitting Aaron Judge in the bottom of the 8th, bottom of the 9th. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna be there, and if he fails, he fails in front of everybody.
It'd be like comparing like that to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. You're going to put him in the 4th quarter, whether he fails or not. You're
exactly.
not him out.
Yes, exactly. You're not going to sub him. You're not going to sub in you're not going to sub in the backup.
Yeah, Andy Dalton for Josh Allen.
Exactly. And you're going to live or die. You're going to live or die with what he does, because he's you know what I'm saying? Like that's And I think that's probably, and thank you for bringing that up, Andrew, for real, because like that's a really good point. Because like,
Yeah.
that is what it is. It's like he's gonna be there regardless.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just gonna like sub this guy out and be like, okay, let's pinch hit for him. Like, not gonna happen. That would be worse than like unless that guy unless that guy homers, it's the best move of all time. You're fucked on that move because like
Okay.
Yeah.
That, like, for me, but I don't think it would have necessarily been bad to have some outfield depth. And
sure.
I'm not saying, I'm not saying that you're definitely replacing Judge, but like if you did have like, let's say,
don't get me wrong, Clayton Kershaw is great, but you have a roster spot for Clayton Kershaw and he's not going to play. Take him out and put in another position player.
I don't think can you do that?
No.
Well, I mean, it depends on roster limits and what they had. Because like typically, like you'll have with roster limits, it'll be like you can only have a certain number of pitchers and you can only have a certain number of like position and hitter type players to equal that 26-man roster.
Well, but according to the roster that I got, they had 30 active players, 16 pitchers, and 14 position players is what they brought to the Classic.
Okay, so there definitely should have been more depth used, and I come back to why was Paul Goldschmidt on the roster?
For defense.
Why was Paul Goldschmidt on the roster? Like he is so old,
and Bryce Harper's also injury prone.
And Bryce Harper's injury prone. Last night, Paul Goldschmidt was just walking around dugout, didn't even have his hat on. And you could see the fact that his hairline has receded back almost as far as his career has gone.
Bro, no, he's full gray, dude. He's full gray.
It's like for me to look at this, like, how were there not some other younger guys that were called? Like, I think calling Roman Anthony after Corbin Carroll went down was a good choice. But Roman Anthony should have been on the roster anyway. Nick Kurtz should have been on that roster. There's guys that got the position that I don't know that they got the nod for Team USA that I don't know should have. Not because they're not good players, but because their game is not good for this competition in a lot of one-game scenarios.
Well, Paul Goldschmidt's clearly past his prime, but I mean, that's like, but at the same time, like, look, we're getting dangerously close again to acting like this roster couldn't have won a WBC. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they absolutely should have. Yeah. And you should have. They should have. But I also think that there are things with this roster that could have been done better where the liabilities wouldn't have been so exposed.
True.
Which again comes back to blaming Mark DeRosa.
We're splitting
hairs. Wouldn't DeRosa be able to like say which players he wanted and which ones he didn't?
To a point.
I was going to say to an extent he has to.
To a point, but a lot of that comes down to, and I can't remember who it was that's the GM for Team USA, but when you have certain guys that aren't even getting a call and getting the opportunity, like Harrison Bader not getting a call, he went to Israel. He went to Team Israel. That makes sense. I support that. But, why wasn't Nick Kurtz considered? Why did it take Corbin Carroll breaking his hand and having to get surgery on his hamate bone for them to call Roman Anthony?
I'm not. So according to Google, the 2026 World Baseball Classic Team USA roster was put together by USA Baseball's general manager Michael Hill and Team USA manager Mark DeRosa, with input from the entire USA Baseball delegation. According to the USA Baseball, Hill and DeRosa, along with executive director / CEO Paul Seiler, worked diligently and tirelessly to assemble the best possible team to represent the U.S. in the tournament. That's coming from USA Baseball Today.
Not tirelessly enough. Sorry.
Nope.
That's where I take issue with it, with the entire Classic, is there were choices that were made that made no sense to me. And like, it's nice to give Kershaw a slot, but you can't tell me that there weren't other pitchers outside of Kershaw that could have been in that position so that they had extra arms. Garrett Whitlock threw for the third time in 5 days last night. If Miller had thrown last night, the closer, if he had thrown last night, that would have been the third time in 5 days. That doesn't really happen in the majors all that often during the season. So why are we putting these pitchers through that during the spring? There should have been more choices, because when it comes to U.S. pitching, there are a lot of options. Like that part I will definitely stand on, because there are so many choices. Like, you can't tell me, like, I understand, like, we'll use Sonny Gray for the Red Sox example, just because this is a random thought I had. I'm not going to say that Sonny Gray is an elite top 5 pitcher in Major League Baseball.
No.
But Sonny Gray being on that team would have contributed more than Clayton Kershaw did.
Yep.
100%.
Like, and that's honestly just because, like, how low Sonny Gray truly is on the totem pole of U.S. pitching. He would have contributed more than Clayton Kershaw did. And that's honestly where I take issue, is while this roster absolutely could have won the Classic and should have, especially once they passed the Dominican Republic, which I think had the best lineup in the Classic. 16 All-Stars.
Yeah.
Like, that's just insane.
Yeah.
But to not put the actual best US born lineup on the field, that's where I take issue, because there were better choices.
Yeah. Well
And
said.
you can't tell me that the A's said no to Nick Kurtz, or the Brewers said no to Caleb Durbin, or the Red Sox said no to Caleb Durbin. They said yes to 6, 7 other players. The Red Sox had players in 3 of the final 4 teams in the Classic. But you're not going to give them Durbin? Like, it's I've got so many question marks about that. That's the part that
who are the other options, as far as, like, I guess I'm not as privy to which guys are American as is actually true. Like, what other American guys were there to, like, choose from, I guess. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like, who wasn't, like, it's hard for me to decipher, like, who wasn't used in the World Baseball Classic, like, good players that should have been, like Kyle Tucker. Like, what was Kyle Tucker at?
Well, I mean, you want to look at Kyle Tucker, Matt Olson, Pete Alonso.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Evan, I mean, I would have taken Matt Olson over Harper.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
No, later.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I like Bryce Harper a lot. Like, I think Bryce Harper is a really, really professional hitter. Like, of the same caliber in his prime, probably as Juan Soto is, like, right now, I'd say. Is that fair?
But Matt Olson hit 272 last year. He had 29 home runs. Like, it's not like he's not a bad performing player. He's great at the bag. Defensively, he's great. He'll get those picks that you need.
That's a good point.
And he was a 272 hitter. Like, I'm not, and again, I'm not saying, and I'm not even saying that Matt Olson is just as a whole, over careers, a better first baseman than Harper. But Matt Olson's game is better suited for this type of environment. Whereas Bryce Harper, you want him in a 7-game series. That I won't dispute. I would want Bryce Harper in a 7-game series.
Yeah. I want a little bit younger Bryce. I want a little bit younger Bryce Harper in a 7-game.
Yeah, like early 30s Bryce Harper. Late 20s.
I mean, he's still kind of early. He's still kind of early 20s or early 30s, but, like, I think he's like.
I thought he was like 35, 36, something like that.
Bryce Harper.
I think he's 34.
Yeah.
Wikipedia to the rescue. Here we go.
Get that for me, Endo.
Of course.
Endo, can you bring that up? That's what I'm starting all the time. Endo, can you bring that up? Endo,
Working on it.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, he's 33. He's 33.
Okay, I said 34. Yeah.
So we'll say late 20s Bryce Harper.
For sure.
Late 20s Bryce Harper. Like
I want
think a little bit
2019 Washington Nationals NL MVP Bryce Harper, like 331,
Yeah.
38 homers. Just and his on base percentage
contact
like
on the consistent contact.
But that's not who Bryce Harper is now. So having somebody like Nick Kurtz, like Matt Olson, like some of those other guys. Like I'm not saying like Rowdy Tellez or Evan White or any of those guys, but like but like just there were better options. I feel like that because that thing about their game being built around the style, like you could watch Bobby Witt Jr. in the Classic and know that if the Royals get to the playoffs, every Royals playoff game is going to be electric because of how Bobby Witt performs in meaningful baseball. Like you just know that. And you knew going in that Salvi was going to do great as the catcher for Venezuela because Salvi does well in high risk, high pressure situations. Bryce Harper doesn't always do that.
Nope.
He can. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not shitting on the Phillies here. But he doesn't always. Matt Olson's a consistent performer at the back. Day in, day out. You know he's going to go 1 for 3 with a walk.
Bro, it's so on the
cusp. Ball well.
It's so on the cusp, though, with Bryce Harper because you don't know. I mean, is he prime Bryce Harper like 2019 that we're talking about? No, obviously not. Like he's had a lot of injuries. There's a lot of miles on the, like, I understand. Like he came in when he was 19 years old. So like he's been around for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's like, I get it. There's some miles but he's still so on the cusp of being like, dude, he's still one of the best, 8 to 10 left-handed hitters in baseball? 7, 8, 10? For sure.
Yes, when he's on, but he has a very streaky bat. Competition like this, you can't have, at least now. His game now is a lot more streaky at the plate than it used to be. You can't have a streaky player as your linchpin at a position in a tournament like this. This is tournament ball. It's not 162.
Right. But he's been good. I mean, he's been good in the playoffs though too.
This is where somebody like Matt Olson comes in. This is where somebody like Nick Kurtz pulls in. And I even think Nick Kurtz might even be a slightly better because you think about the fact that he is quite a bit younger than these guys, he is more close in memory to playing tournament ball when he was in high school.
And at least let him get that experience because he's younger.
Ando, can you bring this up for me? Can you bring up Bryce Harper's playoff batting average and just look up Bryce Harper's playoff statistics? Because I'm pretty sure Bryce Harper is pretty fucking nails in the playoffs. Unless it's just that Philly atmosphere and stuff that makes it seem like it's like way more intense. Because like, you know what I'm saying? Because like that, there's nothing better than a Phillies home game in October. I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on now. Like those people are crazy.
274. 274 in the postseason.
Okay. That's not bad.
274 batting average. He's played 57 games with 208 at bats, 57 hits, 42 runs, 17 home runs, and 34 RBIs.
Okay.
So on base percentage is 390, slugging percentage is 596.
That's really
and his OPS is .986. Jesus.
Yeah, that's almost 1,000 OPS. That's pretty good.
Well, but look at this piece though. So in the 2025 postseason, Bryce Harper hit 200. So that was recent.
Yeah.
That's 6 months ago. That's how we finished the season. But of course, the 3 years before that, it was 333, 286, 349. So, and then before that, 211, 235. Like he's had some stellar seasons in the postseason. But in a game where a lot of things can come down to what have you done for me lately, he kind of fell short there.
Right.
He doesn't
have
the it's there just, to me, there's a lot of question marks there. And I think that you could do that with a few different positions. Like Bryce Terang was lights out for the most part. I'm not going to knock him at all. When we look at when we look at short, Bobby Witt Jr. was electric through the entire postseason.
Yeah.
But was it really Bregman or Gunnar Henderson? Like I personally, I would go Gunnar Henderson, but Bregman's just coming off of an injury. He didn't really finish strong that well in Boston last year. Like he was kind of, once he came off, like he was okay, but I don't think he even hit north of 250 after his injury. So after he came back from his injury. So how could there not have been another option for third?
Do you think this was just a case of like us being a little bit nostalgic too with that roster? Like just being like, oh, well, these names, like, holy shit with these names. You know what I'm saying? Like these names, like maybe they're not in their prime, but like with like this lineup, like obviously Bobby Witt, prime. Okay. Aaron Judge, prime. Bryce Harper, like we said, probably not. A little bit past prime.
Past it.
Probably Bregman's probably a little
prime.
bit past it. Like Bregman's a savage still. Like but it's like those names, like obviously it's prestigious. You know, it's like Kyle Schwarber, like probably still a little bit in his prime. But like
getting in by name instead of what have you done?
Yes, because like we wanted this lineup to just be like we wanted this lineup to be like, oh, look at our pretty BMW from 2021. Like if it's 2021, like that's a pretty BMW. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, but like that's just kind of like it was like our all-star roster. Like we threw out the dream team.
Yep.
I do want to object to Schwarber for a second, and I want to get your guys' take on this because I was talking about this with somebody this morning. I'm not going to hate on Schwarber in general. I know he hit 320 through the Classic. I acknowledge that. But to me, doesn't it make more sense to not bring in somebody to just be a DH? Because you understand that with the top tier talent that you have access to, these aren't just the best defensive players in their position. They're also usually, these are guys that are Gold Gloves and Silver Sluggers at their positions. So why are we not utilizing that and packing the roster a little bit more on the defense side and allowing that DH to be a rotational thing? Hey, Seattle doesn't want Kyle Raleigh to play every game as a catcher. Okay. DH. Switch hitting DH, that could do some damage.
Yeah.
Chicago doesn't want PCA at risk of injury, so he's got to have a couple of games off in there. Okay. Well, we're not bringing in a DH, so we can have Roman Anthony sitting on the bench as well, and these guys can all kind of platoon that different thing. And I think that opens it up a little bit more on your lineup. Who's feeling the best, whose teams aren't going to be bitching on my phone later, and you can kind of build it around that. So while I'm not knocking Schwarber, and he did well in the Classic, would something like that, where we're not focusing on actually having a DH, we're just using that DH slot to put one of our other top tier hitters on, would something like that have helped things a little bit in this scenario?
I don't think our defense was bad in the World Baseball Classic. I don't think we had any errors during the Baseball Classic. And with the exception of, what was it, the Italy game where we lost 8-6? And that was just more of Italy's bats getting in the right place at the right time. I thought defensively we played well. I can see adding on another bat to do the rotating of the DH, but I think defensively our team was fine. I don't know if I would have changed anybody out defensively. I thought we played good as a defensive unit.
So last week on the show, I got roasted by El Presidente about Aaron Judge's throwing arm. And he said, he actually said in the comments that he couldn't throw. And like, Aaron Judge just promptly with 2 dimes to third base. Yeah. Like it looks like he is throwing a fucking posy ball, like a little like training ball. Like it's hilarious. Like and everything's just like perfect form. Like he's like never in a hurry. It's just like, all right, I got a catapult, so I'm just gonna fucking catapult this thing over there. Like it's a trebuchet, fucking trebuchet. But like, oh yeah, Ando, I didn't want to burst your bubble either though. Cal Raleigh, So I have some Cal Raleigh rookie cards, and
Yeah.
Ando, Bud, he was juicing.
Yeah.
The 2021 Cal Raleigh is fat, dude. He's pudgy. He's probably a little bit out of shape. Tough as
Okay.
nails. I love the guy.
Okay.
Can definitely hit a baseball. He's a switch hitter. But I mean, he just started juicing. Have you seen him? He looks great. Like the big dumper, I get it. That ass is like you could bounce a quarter off that thing.
Yeah.
Like it is like he has got some horse haunches on him, dude. Like I feel like if you get too close to Cal Raleigh, it's like a horse, like you know, like when
No,
a horse
just
like,
back
does like
kick
the
you?
nerve. Well, it does like the nerve thing, like
Yeah.
like kind of like you know, like shakes through the muscle. Like that's what it looks like when you walk next to Cal Raleigh. It's just like one of those things. Yeah, there's just veins sticking out of him and stuff.
Yeah. His
Like-
veins have veins.
There's like muscles that you didn't know were in your leg that you can
Yep.
just see.
And
Yeah.
And the reason he gets away with it and Jackson Profar doesn't is because he's actually good at what he does.
Yeah.
Or because he's white.
Maybe.
Oh.
Um,
Well, I guess Sosa got away with it. Sosa
So-
wants to be white now.
as we look towards, so the next time we'll see Team USA baseball is going to be in the Olympics in 2028 in LA. Does Mark DeRosa get the chance to manage the team for the Olympics? Dan, I'll start with you.
I mean, probably shouldn't, but like they'll probably let him. I mean, he got to a championship game. He
Twice.
did like in the DR game, like you said, like he made some good moves. Like, yeah, I got there twice and he lost twice. I mean, yeah, they're probably gonna give him a shot just for those runs alone. I mean, you make it to the title game, it's like we're right there. Like, can DeRosa get over the hump? That'll be some fucking story they'll throw out there. Like, can DeRosa get over the hump at the Olympics? And yeah, he'll probably be the manager. Good for him.
Craig, what do you think?
DeRosa sounds Italian. By the way.
I think it's a long ways off, and somebody else is going to come to the forefront and catch the eye of Major League Baseball and the organizations. And
He'll
we'll
be
off
that
the
new San
position.
Francisco Giant manager. He'll
No.
coach the Olympics.
No,
No.
No,
They won't use a Major League Baseball coach for.
How about the Savannah Bananas?
I like
Savannah
Paul
Bananas
Goldschmidt.
manager. That would be cool.
I like Paul Goldschmidt. Just silverback.
Hey, Eric Hosmer?
That's a good
Eric
one.
Hosmer sees the game the way a lot of people don't. Like I have a lot of respect for Eric Hosmer. I've seen him talk baseball quite a bit. I've seen him play quite a bit. I think if you were going to use a former player and not use a retired manager, somebody that's younger like him, that's going to know some of these guys on a bit more of a level and understand the modern game a little bit better than say like DeRosa or even Joe Torre.
Lou Piniella.
Or Lou Piniella, yeah.
Let's bring Lou Piniella back.
I have a name.
Oh, yeah?
Eric Burns.
I would support that.
Yeah.
He'd be very entertaining.
Very
His press
entertaining.
conferences would be epic.
I got one. Craig Newton.
Yeah. Hey, if it's Eric Hosmer or Craig Newton, but for real,
No, Eric Burns.
No, I know. But I would say Eric Hosmer from Tony.
Kansas City
But like,
fan?
yeah, like, but it's got to be like bearded silverback, just a little bit of silver in the beard with Eric
Yeah.
Hosmer. Okay, and it's just got to be luscious and well trimmed, right? But like him, just lefty playing first base in 2014.
What you're saying? We need like a Chuck Daly manager is what we need, right? The big golfer Daly, Chuck Daly,
John Daly.
John
Daly.
Daly. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
We need a Craig Newton.
Yes.
No.
Craig
Sexual-
Newton with a
sexual
John
white
Daly
chocolate.
beard. Let's do
No.
that.
Sexual white chocolate.
God.
We
I
need
can see Craig
1979.
Craig Newton with that John Daly beard and the cigarette sticking out of his mouth. That's perfect.
Heavy
first
edit
rule-
of this show. Heavy edit
My-
of this show.
My first rule of the World Baseball Classic is smoking is allowed in the dugout again. Let's
Craig
go
was-
hit some fucking homers.
Craig was actually the Marlboro Man from 1977 to 1970.
All the more reason. All the more reason.
Okay, so interesting question here in the chat. Could the top AAA prospects in college starts win the World Baseball Classic?
No.
No. What?
No.
Not as long as Major League Baseball players are in it.
Yeah. Big
I mean-
jump from AAA to Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
They
Sure.
would
Craig would know.
they would make a good probably run. They would be able to compete for sure, I would think, but like
I don't think they make it out of group play. Like there would be some interesting games in group play, but I don't think you make it out of group play.
Maybe Great Britain level.
Yeah.
Great Britain level. There you go.
Yeah, that's fair. You're not gonna get out of pool play, but you'll do better than like Israel, or Czechia.
I really want to go to a cricket match for some reason. I don't know why. Like Great Britain and like here's another long and confusing game of cricket where there's guys wearing helmets that look like they should be wearing helmets, and the
guys who are not wearing helmets should probably wear helmets because those balls are coming at him at a 94 miles an hour.
He's like, oh, and he hit it out of
94 kilometers an hour.
He hit it out of the stadium.
Forgot. It's kilometers because we're not playing in the goddamn U.S. Fucking Americans.
And Reed, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you stopping through.
Sorry, you had your Ando's British impression or British
My bad.
accent.
I'll be sure to put myself in timeout next week.
I'm just kidding.
Next week on Downton Abbey. Will Ando make another terrible pun for baseball jokes?
Find
out in the dugout.
Downton Ando. Next week on Downton Ando.
We'll close with this. Shohei pitched today in spring training, struck out 4, hit 99 miles an hour with his fastball. Is this a sign of things to come with Shohei this season? Craig, I'll let you have this one first.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the best answer ever. Yeah, he's fucking good.
Yeah, he's going to pitch.
Yeah, he's good.
Dan, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, like, do we need to get into his back? Like that little, there's like a little latch thing in Shohei's back that like opens up, and you just go in there and there's like little wires. It's like a wires. It looks like a fucking inside of like a sci-fi movie robot. And you just like they just mix some stuff around and like then they charge him. Yeah, every night his girlfriend like does like she like unlocks the little back thing and then like charges him up. He just stands there. Like that's how he sleeps. He just stands, or she'll like lay him down next to her sometimes and stuff. But like other than that, he doesn't actually sleep. He's just being recharged. Like he's just probably just sitting there thinking, like he's watching game film while she's sleeping the whole time. He's just like fucking. It's like, oh, I'm gonna break down the fucking. He's got like fucking 4 different like screens in his head. There's like a whole thing going on there. Like they upload new updates into him every day, and it's a whole thing. And for some reason, the only thing they can't figure out about the robot is that's a gambling problem. So they didn't know.
No. The manager controlling the robot has a gambling problem.
Oh no, it's
never
Shohei.
been officially confirmed that Shohei's done it.
Oh, Ando, it's Shohei, and it's a weird glitch, like where like they can't stop him because he can just be on the internet at all times because he's a robot. Yeah. So like he can just make bets he's just constantly making bets. And
he's in the batter's box getting ready to hit, and somebody goes, Shohei just put down $4,000 that this next shot is going to be a home run.
Bro, and he's just on some weird stuff too, because like he'll be on like a cricket match from like like the Philippines or something, and be like, oh yeah, this cricket match is -1.5, and he'll be there's
an earthquake going on in Hong Kong. Why did Shohei just put $4,000 on an earthquake happening in Hong Kong?
Yes, it's weird.
And he's sitting there in the batter's box like.
Yeah, he's lefty though, but he probably could switch it.
And he always has that same look on his face. He's just
it's like that robot that they showed how to hit the golf ball every time and just like fucking hits the golf ball perfectly. Like that's just Shohei. Like just as a bat. You just put him in there, he just walks up.
And you have to remember in the Japanese culture, facial expressions are bad. You have to just have complete resting face the entire time.
Right. So that's why it worked out nice. Yeah.
So that's why I don't get any. That's why I don't get any Asians like Will does. Got it? Because I show emotion on my face.
Gotta be expressionless. It's
stoic.
Your face ages, and it's dishonorable to show emotion. In a lot of Asians.
I'm getting old, 7. I can't help it.
You practice baseball, Shohei.
Oh, he's not going to HR for saying a Japanese like impersonation like that, but I get in trouble when I do. You know what? Fuck this.
That was a dude from New Jersey.
Okay, if you say so. I don't believe you, but all right.
Okay, I'm all right.
Hey, Tony, you actually encouraged this about halfway.
I did. This is my own fault. For those listening, I apologize. That's on me.
Never apologize, 7. That's who we are.
Go ahead.
Any thoughts on the poor sportsmanship last night?
What? Which
Fucking
part?
do better. Fucking do better. Go out there and shake their goddamn hand, boys.
It's well, not just that, but like Schwarber had his medal off from around his neck before he even got in the clubhouse.
Yeah,
No,
that's
that's not
bullshit.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
What, the silver?
yeah. There was a lot of guys, and like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would get irritated if Rob Manfred was that close to me as well, and I couldn't punch him in the throat. But at the same time, you just won silver for your country.
Yeah.
You
Keep the damn thing on to get in the clubhouse.
Like, get to where the cameras aren't on, and then you can be mad.
Yeah.
You get that 5-10 minutes before they're going to come in. And especially with the fact that the championship ceremony is happening out there, you're not going to get a lot of attention right off anyway.
Yeah.
You've got that 5 minutes to take the damn thing off, scream, get your frustrations out, and then be in a position to speak to the media when they come in after that allotted time. Like, that was a bad look for me. I agree with that.
That was Bush all the way.
You know who handled it probably fantastically? Aaron Judge. I don't even need to see it. And I know Aaron Judge probably
That's
stood there
because
with
he
his
knows
medal
how
on.
to lose.
Yeah.
And he was
He's
like,
so used to finishing in
"Oh,
second place, bro.
count it. Count it." No, I get it.
Yeah,
No, for real though.
He's used to being always a bridesmaid, never a bride. That's Aaron Judge. That's Aaron Judge.
He could be the perfect 100, but that's why he's 99, because he doesn't have that ring yet.
What, on 2K?
No, on his jersey, he's number 99. He'd be number 0, but he doesn't have that ring yet to make it a solid 100.
Yeah, you can't wear 0 in New York, but yes.
He would. He'd find a way.
No, it's retired. You can't wear 0 in New York.
Fuck. What about 00? Can you wear 00?
No. It's not a thing.
I think you
You
can.
can't wear double. You can't wear 00 in Major League Baseball.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think.
Fuck it, I'd wear 69 then. Hell yeah. Nice.
You can't wear 1 through what, 10?
I think 1 through 9 is definitely retired for the Yankees.
Yeah, I think it's 1 through 10 actually.
10, 11.
And there's like, I think I have like 6. What, it was like 26 numbers that are retired for the Yankees.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
all the single digits. Yeah.
But we'll go ahead and wrap things up before it gets too far off the rails. I want to thank these guys for showing up and talking some baseball with me tonight.
That's right, Reed. 69 is banned in the NBA.
Nice.
Yes.
That's not a surprise. The show is on Spotify. If you go to Spotify and search podcast name Deferred, you will find the show. I upload the show every evening after we wrap it up. So it's usually available by the next morning. You know, it can take a few hours to get through all of Spotify stuff to go on. But we'll be back here next Wednesday. You can catch Dan, Ando, and myself Monday night on the Sports Report podcast. And then we'll be back here next week, 10 p.m. Eastern. Please join us. Make sure to support Wire to Wire Sports Network. They do a lot of great things for us. We appreciate them allowing us to be a partner of them. Peter Gammons, MVP.
I don't get it.
You mean me either.
He said Peter Gammons should coach WBC.
Oh, yes. Gotcha.
Oh,
no, Craig is MVP. Absolutely.
Craig MVP. Put up there.
Yep. Yeah, Craig is the MVP. Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah, Peter Gammons is a sports writer. So he was a writer for the Red Sox, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Thanks, Reed.
Thanks, Reed. But yes, thank you all so much for coming out. Make sure to support the Wire to Wire Sports Network. Shows every morning and evening hosted by individuals that love to share their knowledge with you and interact with you in chat, hear your comments, and talk about the amazing world of sports that we are so fortunate to be a part of. As we close out, I'm going to show a quick video that showcases all of the amazing shows that Wire to Wire Sports has to offer. So please take a look and look up those shows that you're interested in. And thank you all for coming out. We appreciate you.
I liked it better when we could talk over the outro music. There wasn't this corporate, this fucking corporate way that we have went, guys. I need to talk to you guys after this is over about the
Shut up and listen to the outro, Dan.
of this